Hello everyone and welcome to another UFC event review. This is for UFC Fight Night Swanson vs Ortega at the State Mountain Center in Fresno, California. It's the first time that they've been to Fresno because they've been to Northern California a lot. And um, I was about to say something really boring there, but no. So yeah, the main event between Cub Swanson and Brian Ortega. Let's just get on with the fights. So the first fight we had was Frankie Sainz against Marab. I think I'm saying that right. Let me check. Marab Davashvili, Davalishvili. It's a very difficult surname to say, and it was an alright fight. It gets enough for now. It was a decent way to kick off the card, and I feel like Frankie did do enough to win because Marab, I'm just going to call him that, had way better wrestling. In terms of clinch exchange, they were even, and in terms of striking, Frankie definitely had the advantage, but it was fairly back and forth, not too boring, but not too stand-up. It was a decent way to start things off, so it does get an up. Like, ultimately, I did like the fight, to be honest. It was enjoyable enough, so yeah, moving on. Next one is also enough, as Alex Perez, who is a native of California, defeated his opponent, Carl's John D. Thomas, by submission and due to an hand counter choke at 1 minute 54 seconds of round 2. And you know what? Guessing up, it was really, really good back and forth. Especially when Carl's looked like he had a little bit of an advantage early on. But Alex Perez managed to just sink in that guillotine choke, that anaconda, sorry, and managed to get that submission. And I like a good anaconda choke, so yeah, this was a really good finish. I was really impressed. Guessing up, I enjoyed it. We're going to move on now. This is really short, I'm sorry about that, but yeah. Next up was another rip as Andrei Sukhantov took on Luke Sanders, called him Luke Sanders, and Sukhantov won by TKO in round 2 at 1 minute 6. And guessing up. Once again, like the previous fight, it was fairly back and forth, and Sukhantov managed to land a good left, and then follow it with a flush right hook that knocked Sanders down, followed over some great ground strikes, and managed to get the win. Especially in a fight that I feel like Luke was winning anyway. I say Luke was winning anyway. He's the one who lost this fight because Andre won. But yeah, it was a good showing either way. So I enjoyed it. And Luke Sanders, he's not going to suffer from loss either, which is good because I like him. As little as I've seen of him, I do like him. I think he's going to be pretty memorable in the future when it comes to UFC. So yeah, gets up. I liked it. So it's 3-0 so far. And then we follow that up with the last prelim fight, the prelim main event, as I like to call it, between Alexis Davis and Liz Carmouche. And this one also gets an up, so it's 4-0. It was a decent showing. It was fairly back and forth, and Alexis Davis won by decision, but props to Davis for having huge swelling over her left eye. It looked like her entire brow line was sort of a Neanderthal thing in a way, but it was mostly on the left side, and it looked brutal. But she managed to pull through. She managed to get a win. There was a lot of great ground stuff, especially from Davis. She threw up a lot of really good submission attempts and almost got an armbar in round 1, near the end of round 1. It was really, really good. So, yeah, I enjoyed this prelim event. Gets up 4-0 so far. Now we're going to move on to the main card, and oh boy. We do kick things off with an up as we had a fairly exciting bet between Benito Lopez and Albert Morales. Lopez won by a decision, and was a decent enough fight. I think they were both trying super hard for the fight night, especially Lopez. He was throwing a lot of things that he really should not have been bothering throwing. It's weird though because these two started hating each other on social media. It started with a tweet from Morales, I believe, and then they just started shooting back and forth. And then this was a much more hatred-induced fight, but they still showed respect to each other by the end of it because they both knew they put on a good contest, and they did. So it gets an up. So that's 5-0. But they were it wasn't super duper exciting. I think it's not like either of them ran out, but they had really good flashes in round 1 and round 2. Round 3 was just kind of back and forth and not too exciting. It was enjoyable, but not super high on my list, And it served its purpose, Much like the prelim kickoff fight did, this one also served its purpose. It was exciting. And it sort of got the audience's attention back into the fight, so yeah, it does get an up. I'm trying to think though, there was a funny moment at some point. Oh yeah, in the Alexis Davis and Liz Carmouche fight, I think, Carmouche went to the wrong corner, and as Davis was walking over to that corner, because Davis is in the red and Komish actually accidentally walked to the red. She said, no, your corner's over there, and Liz was like, oh, thanks, and she went to the corner, so, yeah, a little bit of backtracking for that, for that funny little moment there, but yeah, this fight gets an up. I enjoyed it, so, moving on. And then we take our first trip downtown as Eric Anders took on Marcus Perez, and I didn't like it. It was a lot of wrestling and a lot of clinching and a lot of really, really boring stuff. I mean, Perez was trying to be exciting, at least. I mean, during when he was getting called out, he did do a really cool sort of flip move. Like, he crouched on the ground, then put one hand on it, then flipped and got to his feet. It was kind of cool. But this was a really, really boring fight. It gets down from me. I really didn't enjoy it. There was a lot about it that could have been better. And I don't think it's after the previous fight was so exciting that this one was so boring. It's not one of those cases. It was just like, nothing really happened. Nothing too interesting stood out, and it was just kind of a drag. And it's one of those fights that felt longer than it had to. I mean, Eric won, obviously, because, he did a lot of really, really good wrestling, but that's kind of all he did. He did get some ground and pound in there. This was not a fantastic fight. I didn't like it. Gets it down. Sorry. And the next fight does get an up, even though I don't remember a lot about it, but Scott Holtzman versus Daryl Horcher. I just remember this fight being really good and kind of back and forth, and then again, I just like Scott Holtzman. I think he's cool, so yeah, this fight, once again, it served its purpose. It wasn't the most exciting, but it does get up for me, and I did like it. And Holtzman won, definitely. I feel like the right man won. But Daryl Horcher definitely showed some really good stuff, especially in later rounds where he landed some really good left hook combos. There was some really good stuff from him there. So, yeah, this fight does get up for me, even though it wasn't super exciting. I did like it. So, yeah. Then we move on to another up, and our first performance of the night as Mario Moraes knocked out Aljamain Sterling by knockout at 1 minute and 7 seconds of the first round. And it wasn't exciting back and forth beforehand, because Moraes knocked down Sterling, and, he went to get Sterling, but Sterling tried to throw up his submission. Almost got Moraes in an armbar, that's important to remember. Then when they stood up, Moraes really caught on quickly to Aljamain's weird movements. And when Aljamain ducked down to try and strike something, Moraes threw a knee and knocked him clean out. And it's the best kind of knockout, where they go stiff as a board afterwards. And Aljamain felt like his left leg was kicked up in there a bit, his right foot was twitching when he was knocked down. It was a beautiful, clean knockout, and definitely deserving of performance of the night, so yeah, gets an up, 7-1 so far to the ups. It was really, really good, I liked it. So, yeah, it was just a really good knockout. I love seeing, surprise ones where the other fighter who gets knocked out is just like when rigor mortis sets in. That's a weird, weird joke to take. A weird path. Yeah. We're going to move on to the co-main event now. I think it's the co-main event. Is it? It is. Okay, moving on. And then we have the co-main event between the most prolific fighter this year and Jason Knight, with this being his fourth fight, against Gabriel Benitez. And Benitez won. Is it Benitez? It is. By decision. And this fight gets it down. It wasn't a terrible fight, but Jason Knight accidentally did a couple of things that cost him the fight, I think. There was a moment in round one where he accidentally bit Benitez's finger. He didn't mean to, and he apologized for it right afterwards, which was good showing. And then in round two, we got into another bit of trouble where he accidentally poked Benitez in the eye. I mean, okay, Jason Knight is known for trash talking in the octagon, but he's not a dirty fighter, and this was just a couple of accidental things, and it kind of sucks because I really like Jason Knight, he's fun to watch, and to see him look so defeated when normally he's so energetic and likes to trash talk during a fight, to see him look like crap, basically, was kind of disheartening. I mean, Benitez won, and, more power to him, but, yeah, it was just kind of sucky way to go, and it wasn't a great fight. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible one, but it wasn't fantastic. And just because of the fails that happened, I didn't really like it, even though there was good respect shown. But yeah, it gets it down for me. Sorry. Moving on to the main event now. And finally, the main event of the evening between Cub Swanson and Brian T-City Ortega. Fun fact, thanks to this fight, I now know what the T stands for in T-City. It stands for triangle. It's kind of weird that it was called that, though, because Ortega got another submission win in round two. At when? At that, 3 minutes 22 seconds. And he got it by guillotine, his second finish in a row by guillotine, and his umpteenth finish in a row, because he's finished all of his fights. But yeah, this was a really good fight. Guess why the night Brian Ortega got the other performance of the night bonus. Well done. Pardon me, I'm hungry, and food's coming soon. But yeah, this was a really good showing. Like, Cub Swanson and Brian Ortega were guaranteed to bring a fight of the night, and they really did. Like, probably biggest up of the night for me, so it's 8-2 to the ups. And Brian got a really good submission as well. Like, Cub managed to get Brian against the cage, and Brian not only jumped up with his legs around Swanson to get the guillotine, he adjusted his hands in a perfect way to get the guard up. And it was only a matter of time before Cub tapped. It was a standing guillotine, and I like standing submission moves, I don't know why. Or jumping or flying ones, basically ones that look a bit more flashy and cool, you know. But it was a really good finish. Served its purpose. It was an amazing main event. Not in my top 10 of the year, but it was enjoyable. And Cub Swanson and Brian Ortega are two of the best fighters in the world today anyway, so not a lot to complain about, so it does get up. And overall, this card was a bit underwhelming compared to the last review, but it was still enjoyable enough, and, you know, despite a couple of mishaps that happened, I did like it ultimately. Wasn't anything truly standout, but it wasn't anything truly bad. It was a good card. It was a solid, good card. You know, not great, not fantastic. It was good. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you all next time. Oh, before I forget, there's something I forgot to mention about the backtracking announcement I made a few days ago. If you're going to give me a band that has like the something, like if it's the used, then I won't include the, so it would still fall under the U category. So it wouldn't be the used, it'd be the used. Like, if it were a band, like, say, the Veer Union, it would be the Veer Union. So, yeah, that's just a quick little heads up for those of you who are still a bit confused about that. And I'll see you all next time. I think next week. Is there anything next week? There should be another UFC card. Let's see. Yeah. Lawler versus Dos Anjos. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be good. So, yeah, I'll see you all then, I guess. Can't wait to have my food. Thank you for listening. You're awesome. Bye-bye.